When she pulls away, don't panic. Hi guys, my name is Christine Loveridge and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about what to do when a girl pulls away from you and you can see that her interest is declining. So before we get into this video, please leave a like on this video and please subscribe if you haven't already. So the first point that I want to make is that your instinct to do something is tricking you. I certainly had this experience before when I noticed that a girl suddenly didn't like me that much anymore, or I could tell that the interest was fading. I felt like I had to do something in order to get her to be more attracted to me. So I thought like, I need to message her, I need to tell her how I feel about her, or I need to call her up because I can sense that there's this disconnect happening. But usually when I did something like that, it just made the situation much worse and she pulled away even further. So the best thing for you to do in this kind of situation is to do nothing. People who are very masculine tend to be people who like to take action. So when we notice something's wrong, we try to fix it immediately. This is one of the reasons why we really like things like sports, because it's very goal orientated and it's all about taking action. When something like this happens and we feel like the girl that we're interested in or our girlfriends are slowly sort of like pulling away from us and they're not as loving anymore, they're not as interested in us anymore, we feel like we need to take some kind of action on it. But the best thing for us to do is to actually not take any action and to do less. So obviously if a girl is becoming less interested in you, then what she really needs at this moment is space, because that's why she's pulling away. She's pulling away because she feels like she needs space. So the best thing for you to do is to give it to her. And that's great because, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to message her. You don't have to call her up. You just give her what she wants, which is space. And then you can just focus on whatever you're doing with your life. You could focus on, playing more video games or, focusing more on your career and your work. You don't need to do anything. You feel like giving her space is the thing that you don't want. You feel like giving her space is the thing that's going to create most friction. But in reality, not taking any action is the easiest thing you could possibly do. We make this kind of scenario a lot more stressful in our minds because we're so anxious and afraid of losing someone. And we feel like if we don't contact the person we love or the person that we're interested in, when they start pulling away from us, we're going to lose them. But if they're attracted to you and they're still attracted to you and they still have that connection towards you, that's not going to happen. When they feel like you're pulling away, that's going to cause them to want to pursue more. Now, it might be a scenario where they have completely lost attraction for you and they don't want anything to do with you anymore. And if that's the case, then that's great. You can go and find someone who is interested in you. And they can go and find someone who they're interested in, who will be interested in them as well. Don't have this fear of scarcity. There are plenty of people out there that you can date. So don't worry if this one girl that you're interested in is starting to lose interest in you. There are plenty of other girls out there that you could date. Don't be in a scarcity mindset. Just think of the world as an abundant world that is abundant with lovely girls that you could date, and you won't worry so much about losing this one girl. But most likely, if they're pulling away from you, they probably still are attracted to you. So it's better for you to just not do anything, give them the space and time that they need. So how do you give them space? How do you give them that time that they need? So just notice recently your correspondence and how much you've been meeting up with them. So if you've been texting them a lot, or if you've been sending more messages to her than she's been sending to you, then just cut back on the messages or leave longer time frames in between messages. If you've been meeting up nearly every day and you can tell that she's starting to get bored and she's pulling away, just spend less time with her. So let's say you've been meeting up like 3 times a week. Just go back to seeing them once a week or once every 2 weeks if you really want to stretch it out. So basically, you just carry on doing what you've been doing, but a lot less. Because obviously there's a reason why she's pulling away from you. Obviously, for whatever reason, she may be feeling like what's going on is just too much at the moment. So in order to reattract her, you just have to do a lot less. And again, it feels like a complete contradiction. You probably feel like when someone pulls away from you, you need to do something to maintain that attraction. When actually, you don't need to do that at all. And you know what? You can try this out for yourself. If you've been noticing that they're backing away from you, then you back away from them. Match and mirror what they're doing. So if it takes them a long while to respond, whereas before they would respond almost instantly, then you start doing that. Okay? Start testing these things. Don't just take my word for it. Just test it out for yourself and see how she responds. And alternatively, if you don't mind potentially losing the girl, send her loads of messages. Do what your heart wants you to do, which is bombard her with messages, call her up, ask her where you stand all the time, tell her how you feel about her, beg, plead, do all the things that your instincts are wanting you to do, and then see how that works out for you. So test these things out if you don't mind, obviously, experimenting a little bit. So if you do feel like she's been pulling away, then have a month of experimentation. Have a month where you're not messaging her as much and see how her attraction rises. And then perhaps another month, just bombard her with lots of messages all the time and then see how she starts pulling more away from you. Just test these things out for yourself. So the fundamental rule here is to match and mirror her actions. When she pulls back, you pull back. When she starts initiating contact more, then, you start messaging her more as well. Just do whatever she is doing. Now, you don't have to be exact with this. So let's say she always waits 3 hours to message you back. Don't always, 3 hours on the dot message her back when she sends you a message. Because if you're doing things exactly on the hour to the hour, it's more likely that they'll be able to tell what you're doing. So it's best to just, be a bit spread out with it. So if it takes her 3 hours to respond, wait 5 hours. Or if it takes her half an hour to respond, wait an hour and a half to respond to her. You don't have to be exact with that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope this video has helped you. If you have any tips yourself, then please leave them down in the comments so we can help each other out. And if you would like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop. Thank you for watching, and I shall talk to you guys again very soon. Goodbye, guys.